All right. Hey there. Hey, Sally. Everyone say hi if you're in chat. Welcome. Good evening. Nice to see you. We're playing Tarren's Adventures tonight. Hey, Sistel Behave. So we have some people in chat. Everyone, if anyone else is here, feel free to say hi, introduce yourselves if it's your first time. Welcome, welcome one and all to the Adventures of Tarren Hall. Prepare us all for fear and fun, for crime and glory before we're done. Oh yeah, nice. I see some more people has been catching the poem fever, poetry fever, started by Sally. That's really nice to see. Awesome. So we're gonna do the second adventure tonight. We're gonna start in a few minutes. If it's your first time watching, I will explain that we are playing a role-playing game that actually you are playing. You're the players, and I'm the game master. I wrote a short adventure for today that's going to start and end today. Every week is a whole new adventure. Well, we'll see. Yeah, sometimes I might not have the time to do it in the middle of a description or something. If a scene is, the scene is especially tight, I might not have the time to read them out, but if you do it, sometimes I will. I can't promise anything. Exactly. We really love reading them, even if I don't have time to read them out loud. So, Tarren is our hero, an adventurer, a thief, a burglar, and well, a petty criminal in a city named Oriad, which is a small, not small, sorry, a big, dirty, bustling city with a lot of criminal underground going on. So Tarren is definitely a member of that class of people, the people who prowl the night and try to make a quick profit wherever there is an opportunity to do so. We played one adventure last week, and we're going to play another one tonight. So let's get to talking about how this exactly is going to work. In case it's your first time. Yes, yeah, we know his class in both sense of the word. All right, so this is the screen that we're going to use, except for the fact that we can see Tarren's portrait here, the way that he looks at this point in his life. We can also see Tarren's character sheet. These are all the special skills he has. All these two lists of special skills are things that he knows to do especially well. Like 1 is moderate skill in one of the special skills. 2 is already quite a lot. 2 is like being pretty like well versed, pretty skilled in doing that specific thing. So for example, con, which is lying to people, conning them, and awareness, which is the sharpness of your senses, noticing things around you, and sneaking, which is sneaking. Then those are the things that Tarren does especially well, or knows how to do much better than most other people. 1 is more like moderate, knows a little bit about it. And there's these stats. Skill is skill with most things, almost anything having to do with fighting and combat, as well as adventuring. This is something that gets added to all the rolls that you roll in order to achieve almost anything. Jumping from rooftops, or sneaking unseen, or talking and persuading someone to do what you want them to do. It's all done with a skill stat. Stamina is like your hit points. Luck is something that you can roll. Often it's rolled when I call for it. It's when things are out to get you, a trap, or some kind of mishap or misadventure that you encounter in your adventures. Magic stat is how well you are at casting magics, and points is your power points, which run out if you cast a lot of spells. The cantrips we have, they're small spells with a little bit of effect, are hear, hold, and noise. Hear lets you hear things from afar. Hold sticks two things together. It sticks two things together for a while, about a minute. And noise makes a noise from a distance, so you can use it. Whoops, it was a little glitch because my cat clicked something on my keyboard. Sit down, cat. Cat is being feisty tonight. All right, he's gone. Where was I? Yeah, so these are the three cantrips, little, very easy to cast spells that have a very tiny, like a minor effect, and when you cast them, you can get the benefit. You still have to roll to make it, but the roll is going to be quite easy. Um, Yep, it is a cat. It is indeed a cat, and it causes exactly the same kind of trouble every time. So when we are playing, I will often ask, what do? You are playing Tarren. You're playing the hero. When you hear this question, you need to choose one of these. I will ask you, what do you do? And then I'm going to reset the poll. When I'm going to reset the poll, I'm going to do it with this command. And you can see that there's an answer that you can't see in the chat window above here, but you can, if you're actually in chat right now, you'll see the results. Right now there's no results because nobody cast any votes in the poll, but let's say right now I'm asking you, what do you do? So just choose one of these four options: book, dagger, fist, or palm, which you do with the commands in red, in red color up here above. Just try them a little bit in chat right now. Try to see what happens when you do, and then we'll do a mock poll. So go ahead right now and tell me. Let's see if it works. Right. So Cecil Behave votes for Palm. So Palm count is 1. There's 1 vote for Palm right now. If anyone else wants to go and try it out and see what happens, watch the votes get tallied and count up. Pino Boy, hey, what's up? Voted for Dagger. So now there's 1 vote for Palm, 1 for Dagger, 2 votes for Palm, with a vote from Sally as well. So that's cool. That's a little poll that we do. And then let's say the poll is done. You've all cast your votes. I'm going to reset the poll again, and then it tells us the results. The bot tells us the results, which again you cannot see in the chat window up here. But I'm going to read them out, and I'm going to say that Dagger got 1 vote, Palm got 2 votes, which means that the Palm option was chosen in this poll. If it was an actual game moment, I would then describe what you do. I would tell you the result of your action according to what you just chose. So Palm is up here. You can see the Palm is like being open, cooperative, actually being honest and trying to be nice to other people, to get them to, like, to persuade them to do something that's usually in their best interest, or to just help them. Just help them, be helpful and protective of others. So if that's what would be chosen, if that was chosen, if it was an actual poll right now, I would interpret that according to the situation that we're in, and I would narrate the results accordingly. Sometimes there's going to be a die roll required, and we'll roll the dice and see what happens. That's it. That's basically how this works, and I think we're already going to be ready to begin tonight's adventure. It's a couple of days after the previous adventure. That was, if you were here last week, you remember it was an adventure in Alora's tower, a tower belonging to Alora the wizard. But now this is already in your past. It happened about 2 days ago. This is again the middle of the night, but this time you're not in a dangerous place. You're just in you're in a part of the city, a part of Oriad, appropriately called Pig Boulevard. Pig Boulevard is a long and dirty street with a lot of businesses and a lot of noise all hours of the day. It's in one of the poorer neighborhoods. It's kind of like a neighborhood of its own. It's like a district of the city. It's just like one wide and long street, winding through different areas of the city. Yes, definitely. Tarren is usually up in the middle of the night, but right now it's actually so late. It's actually almost the early hours of the morning. I mean, sun hasn't come up yet. The sky is still dark, but it is very late at night. Let's say about 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. or something like that. So actually you are asleep when tonight's adventure begins. You have your own place, like a little hovel, a little place that you have. I don't know in which part of the city it is. We haven't decided yet, and I'm open to suggestions in what kind of place you live, but right now you're not there, so it's not really relevant. We know that I will tell you that right now you're in a tavern in Pig Boulevard. Like any other business or house It's yeah, it's kind of like a slum. Exactly what I wanted to say. I was looking for the right word, but it is kind of a slum, and it's the tavern is a quite a narrow and tall building, 3 floors with a couple of rooms, like 3 or 4 rooms in each floor. It's not a very big place. Very small rooms. It's a wooden building, quite dirty. There's one small window that is right above your bed. When you decided to go to sleep there, just to because you had some money, and you were in the neighborhood, you're probably meeting some people tomorrow morning for some business, some more opportunities that you might want to exchange or go to pursue together around the city. So you decided to sleep here. And it's quite cheap, so you paid a few coins and you took the room for the night. We start the adventure in the middle of the night when you're already asleep. You're in bed, covered by a thin, dirty blanket. And you wake up. So you're awake. You were asleep a second ago. You wake up. You have. I'll show you / remind you that you do have one talent. Talent is something special about your character, something that you are significantly better at than other people. And you have combat reactions. What combat reactions means is that you don't get caught off guard in a way that impacts you mechanically, right? You can still be surprised. Sometimes you won't notice people sneaking up or enemies or someone that wants to stay hidden from you. You won't necessarily be better at noticing the people. But if somebody jumps you, somebody surprises you, they won't necessarily get a mechanical advantage at doing that. It also means you could fight multiple opponents without getting significant penalties. Right, so if you're alone, you're fighting 2 or 3 or 4 enemies, you might not get as bad like penalties as any other fighter would. So you wake up because something moved in your room. You look, you turn your head, you try to stay hidden while doing that, and you see a shadow. There's someone there in your tiny little room, right next to your bed. Somebody is holding something in their hand, something that you just pulled out of your belongings, out of your backpack, which is right there against the wall. This is going to be, let me reset the poll to make sure we're starting from 0. The first choice for today, the first poll, and now you tell me, what do you do in this situation? Choose one of these 4 options to decide what you do. And as always, if the music is too loud or too low, tell me. I will turn it up or down. Cool, we have one vote for fist. 2 votes for fist. Be aggressive about it. I like it. I like it. All right. There wasn't really a question. The question is always, what do you do? That's always the question. All right, and Sally votes P for palm, and another vote for fist. Okay, cool. So let's reset the poll again, and look at the results, and you can see that the results are 3 votes for fist, which is the clear winner. People here don't want Asian. Yeah, nice to see you. It's nice to see that you've joined. People here clearly do not want other people messing with our stuff. You get out of bed, blocking the way to the window. The window, I'll remind you, now that you're sitting up in bed facing that figure in your room, the window is behind you, which means that the only other exit from the room is going to be the door leading out into the tiny, dank corridor of the inn, and then, you know, down the stairs or into some other room. Supposedly it's going to be much harder to get out than just jumping out the window. So that person is looking at you, and they're kind of trying to decide what to do. Let's roll to see how surprised or intimidated they are, how much they're worried about what just happened, because you have surprised them. They thought that they wouldn't wake you up. You are a little too attentive for that. So you don't have an intimidation skill, anything to scare or intimidate people. So just rolling your skill clean. Just rolling 2d6 and trying to hit your skill or below that. And you rolled a 7, which is not a hit. It's not a hit. So you didn't really intimidate the person. Yeah, so they're not afraid. They step forward with holding that thing in their hands. Both of their hands are taken because they're holding that thing. Because you're sitting up and the light, a little light from the outside, whatever, from little like lanterns and street lights out in the street is lighting up from behind you, lighting up that person. You see that they're wearing dark. They have a short beard. It's not someone who you recognize. It's a short person. They're quite small and short. It's a man. And he's holding the Book of Entering. See here at the bottom the list of equipment you have. The Book of Entering is something that you got in the previous adventure when you were in Laura's Tower. It's quite a rare book, detailing and explaining summoning and banishing spells. Spells of summoning and banishing beings from other planes of existence. That's what he's holding. And then he walks towards you and he suddenly disappears. There's like a puff, and he just disappears in a puff of shadow, along with the book in his hands. You hear a thump on this the roof above you. You're in the top floor. You're in the 3rd floor of this tavern, and you hear a thump as his boots hit this the roof of the inn above you, and then he starts moving alongside the roof. There's footsteps of him moving. What do you do? Let's have another poll. Let's reset again, just to make sure. And yeah, decide what you do. This is your time to react to what just happened. Go right ahead, vote for fist, book, dagger, or palm. I should always scroll up so that it's easier for you to remember what those options are. I should remember when I ask you what do you do, I should always remember to scroll up and show you the 4 options with the icons and the little explanation of what kind of action we're talking about. Right, so D, dagger, talk to the urchins, cover all exits. I'm gonna ask you later maybe who those urchins are. It seems like a cool idea. B, 1 vote for book. Find the fastest route and try to block him. Cool. Any other suggestions? There's 1 vote for dagger, 1 vote for book. Any more votes? All right. So there's only 2 votes. Let's tally up the results of this poll. And usually when there's a tie, that means that I'm the tiebreaker. So because there's 1 book and 1 dagger, I get to choose between book and dagger, and that means that I choose. So Sally's already writing the explanation of who these urchins are. 3 friends of yours who are down in their luck. They help you out, and they actually might be around. Maybe they're actually around. And they're capable of helping you, of like cutting off the exits, cutting off the routes of escape for this person. I guess it means that the urchins have to be there. I don't know, where do you suppose they are, Sally? I think right now let's leave the urchins out of it for a second. They might be a very good idea, but let's do the thing that only requires your attention, because he's getting away right now. I'm not sure if you have the time to talk to anyone else and like concoct like a scheme of what exactly to do. So find the fastest route and try to block him was Trina Boy's suggestion, and he voted book. So try to do like the smart thing, not necessarily just run out and try to climb after him, but try to find the fastest route and block him. So you run out of the room into the corridor, the little corridor connecting between the 4 rooms in the top floor, and you see that there is a small dirty window, but the thing is that there's some bars on that window. It's barred from the inside. The bars seem very old, dented, and rusted, and they're barely connected to the wall. Maybe with a short tug, you can just disconnect these bars and check out where this window leads to. Also, the book option is also using your senses. Let's try to roll awareness, which is quite a good skill for you. You have 2 in awareness and 6 in your skill score, which means that awareness is... when you roll awareness, you're going to be able... That's not what I wanted. You're going to be able to succeed at an 8 or below. So let's roll 2d6 and try to see if you get... Oh no, you got a very high score, so you don't know exactly where he's going. You don't know exactly where he's going. There's footsteps. He's moving slowly on the roof. He's not running. He's moving in a certain direction, and you don't know exactly where it is. Let's do another poll. Tell me, what do you do in light of this new information? You're in the corridor, in the inn, in the tavern. Go ahead, make your choices, and cast your votes. Meanwhile, tell me please if you hear the music. Do you hear the music properly? Like, as a nice background to what I'm... A bit. Okay. Well, maybe I'll turn it up a little bit, but I don't want to turn it up too much because... Still need you to hear me. Alright, cast your votes. What do you do? Come on, it's a poll. It's a moment of choice. Cast your votes. Dagger, try to follow as best you can quietly. Cool. Dagger gets 1 vote. Any more votes? Fist, pry open the bars. More votes? Gonna be just 2 this time, or are we gonna have another vote from anyone? Dagger, Shin votes Dagger as well, so 2 votes for Dagger. What else? Another Dagger, look for routes of escape. Okay, cool. So let's reset this poll, and we see that Dagger is the clear winner with 3 votes. So you want to be stealthy. You wanna try to be able to follow him without maybe him necessarily knowing that you're following. So instead of rushing out this window or your window and just climbing up to the roof, you go down to the first floor and you rush out of the inn. You just run out of the front door and you look up, trying to circle the building to see where he's going. You just made it in time to see him jump from rooftop to rooftop. He made it to the edge of the roof. He was he waited there for a few seconds. It's quite a distance that he hopped, and he was able to jump. And you can see just his shadow disappear behind the rooftop of the next building over. It's just a residential building, like with apartments in it. It's just people living in small apartments in a regular building of the kind that lines up this street, Pig Boulevard, all throughout. Stick his boots, and next time he tries to jump. Okay, so that's a good idea. Let's ask again what you do, and I will reset the poll again and start a new one. So this is a very good idea. I think to stick his boots, I don't know which option it will be. Book is using your magic, so that definitely might be the right option for that. Hold magic, cool, yeah. That could be a good option. Right, so Fist also kind of works because it's very direct, like forcing him in place. I don't know, but I think Book maybe fits more. But it seems like you all like this idea. You all like the idea of using your hold spell to stick his boots. But the thing is, for this spell to work, you have to see the target. And he just disappeared on the roof. So let's, first of all, let's reset the poll. We reset the poll. There's 2 options for Book, but Sally's Fist vote was actually for the same option. You all want to do the same thing, so it's actually 3 votes for the same thing. You run around the building, hoping to catch another glimpse of the person that you saw. Let's see how fast you are. This is very important for you to be able to catch that person quickly enough. And yeah, you don't have much in athletics. You don't have a especially good athletics skill. So I think in this case I'm going to roll your skill. Yeah, I'm just gonna roll your skill. Nothing else I can do. I mean, technically in the rules of this game, you can roll your luck instead of other skills in certain situations, but I don't think this is a situation where what happens depends on your luck. I don't think you need to get lucky, you just need to be fast. So let's roll your athletics and see how well you do. 11 again. 11 again is way above the 6 or below that you needed, which means that you run around and you just see him disappear beyond the next to the next rooftop, and you don't you don't get a glimpse of his boots for long enough to be able to stick him to the roof. And when you run around this building again, you just run to the next alleyway and you run behind the building, and again you try to see him. You just hear the footsteps of this man retreating quickly, and after 2 or 3 more minutes of sprinting between the buildings and making a bit of noise, trying to be as quiet as you can but still being a bit noisy, running around trying to get ahead of this guy, you just can't. You're not quick enough. He was quicker than you, and he used that kind of disappearing, that teleportation spell to get away from you, from your room, and then get away from you on the tops of the buildings. Good suggestion, Trinovoy, good suggestion, but unfortunately that's not one of our options. You're now there in the street, you don't know where that person is, and now this is the kind of situation where you're not sure where to go in the short run. You can concoct maybe more of a long-term plan. So tell me what you do, considering that you're not, you lost sight of this person. Let's do a new poll, and yeah, you decide what to do. Yeah, so getting help from our friends will be one of 2 usually, right? One of 2 options. Either dagger if we're manipulative and deceptive, or palm if we're actually honestly asking our friends for help, right? Actually asking friends for help, honestly, people who are actually our friends and we want to be friendly with them, is going to be the palm option. And dagger is if we want to manipulate people to do what we want them to do. These are 2 options. Alright, so we have 1 vote for palm. Cast your votes. Two votes for palm. 1 vote for dagger. Speak to underworld movers and shakers using the description of the bastard. Right, so it's 2 different suggestions that I'm seeing here. One of them is... oh, another vote for dagger as well. Cool. Oh, alright. Nice. So I see there's... let's reset the poll. There's 2 votes dagger, and well, Sally voted twice. I'm not going to count the second palm vote that Sally cast. It's the same vote still. So we have 2 votes dagger and 2 votes palm. It's actually a tie, 2 each. And I will choose between the 2. So palm was actually meeting some friends and asking for their help. Dagger is trying to make a different kind of plan, being more manipulative, lie, saying that you want to meet that person, maybe to hire them according to the description, having people help you find him without revealing your true intentions. I'm gonna go with the palm option. I'm gonna go with palm because I really like the option of the your friends, the 3 lowlives. I really like that. The urchins, the 3 urchins. So Sally already gave us a description of these creatures. Let's write some of that down here. Let's have some of this information written down. The urchins. The urchins needs to be much smaller and in black. All right. So the urchins. 3 friends down on their luck who help you often in return for some payment or favors. So you offer them your own help that you can give them, and they help you in return. One of them is much younger than you are. You're 19. I'll remind you that you're 19 years old. So if he's much younger, he's just a teenager, a kid, almost a kid, a child. The three Dumpketeers. I think we shouldn't tell anyone except the friends we are, why we are really looking for this guy. Okay, so keep it hidden generally. Cool. Let's also write down other information that I already gave. Where you were at a tavern, an inn in Pig Boulevard. Inn named. Whoops. What did I just do? The inn is named Spotted Dove. And that was the name of the inn that you were sleeping in. So you go back to the inn, you go back to your room, you pick up your stuff, you collect all of your things. Your bag is now significantly lighter. The one book that you had, I mean, you have two books, but the book of entering was a big, massive tome that actually had to be kept in on a stand on Alora's tower, if you remember. And then she used to flip between the pages of the book, like big wide pages, while the book was standing on the stand, and she was like casting the spells out of the book. So now this is stolen. It's I'll still keep it written down here, but it's you don't have it anymore, unfortunately. Why is this suddenly so small? Oh, larger. Yeah. All right. Good. So now you collect your things and you don't go back to sleep. You need to go to action. You need to go to see the people that you know. The urchins are where they usually are. In Pig Boulevard, actually it's not very far. Pig Boulevard is not very far from where they usually live. It's one of the slums, the slummy neighborhoods of the city. And they live in like an abandoned house. They're living in the ground floor of what used to be like a big house, but since it's in the slums, it's been abandoned for a while. Nobody was living there. Definitely no one that was living like in the whole building. It seems to used to be like a nice house years and years ago, probably before this neighborhood changed into the poor neighborhood that it is right now. But right now it's mostly abandoned, and the ground floor is where the three urchins live. You go there, you find them, you have to wake them up and you have to talk to them in order to get their help. Now, what's going to be the role? What are we rolling for this? You need to convince them or to ask them to help you do something. I guess you don't really have a skill for... Yeah, you don't really have a skill for being either just friendly and persuasive. You don't have like a persuasion skill, which might be a good point to just get a persuasion skill later on. And you also don't have like an underground culture skill, you know, belonging to the underground, knowing like the language and the slang, knowing how to, exactly what to do, how to talk. So let's just say that you try to get their help. We'll roll and we'll see what happens. If you miss, you're not necessarily gonna fail. But let's see how well you do. Maybe you just make the roll anyway. Yeah, you rolled a 6. Great. Your skill is 6. You rolled a 6. That's awesome. So you succeed on this roll, and you get them interested enough. Especially, you think you get the sense that the two older ones, the ones that are around your age, are very interested in how valuable this book is. This is the main reason. They're curious as to how big of a score this book was for you, and they want to know. So now that's the that's mainly what they do, and they're willing to help you. They're willing to help you. So what is going to happen now is that the sun is going to rise in just a couple of hours. They're going to go out into the city. They're going to meet other people, and they're going to start asking around and trying to find either the book or the person. They're not gonna say that it's you who's looking for him, and they're not gonna tell anyone why they're looking for this person. They're either gonna ask people about oh, actually, Sit Still Behave suggested that we shouldn't tell anyone why we're looking for the guy. So they don't mention the book. They're not gonna mention the book. They're just gonna mention the person. A physical description of a short guy, a small guy with a short pointy beard and a thin face, who's you know, walking around stealing stuff off of people in this area of the city. Another nice poem by Sally. Spotted dove is such an inn with a little white pet bird. All of us have nice white grins when we hear go right ahead. But don't touch the poor old dove. No, she cannot fly above, but the spots upon her back painted are in inky black. Ooh, nice. Very nice. Well, he didn't wear green or was red-headed, although the image of the leprechaun I have is the Irish stereotype, which I have no idea if it's the actual mythological thing. I have no idea if it's actually an accurate, culturally sensitive depiction of leprechauns, what I just described. So yeah, no, I don't think he was a leprechaun. Also, leprechauns don't teleport. I don't think that's part of their power set. Alright. You also ask around. And this time I will roll luck. I roll luck to see how quickly you find him, and whether you do it, or whether people are, like, they catch on to what you're doing. Whether people wise up to the fact that you're actually looking for a person because he stole something from you. Or maybe they just miss it. So let's make it into a luck test. You're almost guaranteed to succeed because you need to roll 11 or less on 2d6. You rolled a 10, which is awesome. Your luck goes down. As always, when you use your luck, it always goes down by 1 point. Evil wizard. Oh, that's we're being very stereotypical here. I don't know. You don't know what he is, except for a thief. Except for some kind of robber, because he burgled your room and stole a thing. But other than that, and you don't even know that because it was stolen in the first place, right? You took it without it belonging to you. Cool. So you ask around and you got lucky, meaning that in the evening of that same day, in fact early in the evening, in the afternoon, it's still light outside, you hear back from one of the urchins. Let's make a name for one of the urchins. The oldest and smartest one. He's just barely older than you are. He's 20 years old. Yeah, our Hebrew our Hebrew permission to steal if we think that we're stealing from a thief. Or biblical permission. So Billy the Goat. Oh, what a name. What a glorious name. Old Joe. Old Joe. He's 20 years old. He's the oldest one in the group. I like Billy the Goat. I like Billy the Goat. Yeah. Yeah. Billy the Goat. So let's say that the urchins, the oldest one is going to be called Billy with a Y? Billy, yeah. Billy the Goat. The oldest one has a wispy goatee. Nice. No, he's definitely not the greatest of all time. He's definitely not the greatest of all time. We call him William. Smallest is Toad Tim. Toad Tim, the youngest. He's barely 15. Very nice. Toady Tim, and I want the middle to be a girl. Sure, the middle should be a girl. Why not? Feel free to make up a name for the middle one as well. I think that's a very cool idea to have names for all three of them. It's two boys and a girl. So, Susan. Let's pick a more serious name. Flora the Bee. Flora the Bee. Why is she called Flora the Bee? There must be a story there. Must be a story behind that nickname, Flora the Bee. She did something happened to her. She did something, or she does something usually. The Wasp. Ooh, the Wasp is even cooler. It's quite a sting. Oh, nice. All right, cool. Flora, fast to anger. Nice. Flora. I'm gonna choose Flora the Wasp. Flora the Wasp sounds more dangerous. Bees are nice. Wasps sound dangerous, although it's probably, again, just I don't know. a stereotype for no reason. Flora the Wasp. Quick to anger. Cool. Nice. So, Billy the goat. Billy comes to you and says that person is actually quite well known. He's a gentleman thief. He's one of those burglars who have like a code of their own. They have like this whole code going, and he makes a point of everyone knowing that he only steals from people who deserve to be stolen from. So in a way, that thing of stealing from thieves being justified, probably if he stole from you, he knew in advance who you are, what kind of thing you have, and he had like an excuse. He had like a good reason for him of why this particular burglary was justified. It was a justified theft. So yeah, that's him. And his name, let's make a name for this thief as well. If you have an idea, write it down, but I think I have one prepared in advance as well. So let me just... Right, yeah, I already have a name for him. That's true. Rob. What a perfect name. It's called Rob. Oh, man. I mean, it's probably better than the name that I thought of. So, right. Why don't I have... Where's the... I have the name, but for some reason I'm not able to find it. So I guess we only have Rob. Oh shit, I forgot where I put the name. All right. Yeah, I really want to. I really want to to find the name that I decided on, but I'm not gonna waste any more time on it. One more try. Nope. No, I don't have a name, but I want also him to have like a nickname. So he's gonna be called Rob. Why not? And the nickname, I do have the nickname here. It's gonna be Lazy Rob. Lazy Rob is gonna be his nickname and his Robert Rob. Yeah, Robert R. Rob. He's Robert R. Roberts. He's called Lazy Rob. He doesn't do a lot of scores. Like, he doesn't go out every night to look for things. He only steals from people that he knows for sure have expensive, valuable things. So what Billy tells you, and you know the name. You've heard of the reputation of the person. He's apparently very skilled as a burglar, and you know that if he chose to steal from you, it means that he had you in his sights for a while. He knew who you are. He knew what you had. He knew it was valuable, and he decided that you deserved it. That's basically it. Now, I will also lazy because it teleports. Yes, it's a lazy way. It's a lazy way to get around. You don't even use your arms and legs to climb and go run around and walk around. He did jump from rooftop to rooftop. Yeah, and he actually does have quite a bit of street cred. People respect his skills. Okay, so this is gonna be a new poll. Let's reset. With this new information, what do you do? Rob from the hood. A new poll. I'll remind you, you have 30 seconds. From when I say, what do? You need to vote in 30 seconds. So just go ahead and vote right now. If you have questions or suggestions, keep them for after the poll. First, make your vote, cast your vote, and then we'll see. 1 vote for Fist, 1 for Dagger. Kidnap his grandma. 1 vote Fist, 1 vote Dagger, 1 vote... The second vote for Dagger. At 30 seconds, including the lag. Yes, you'll have to be quick so that it all fits in 30 seconds from when I say I see the vote in 30 seconds. I know that you're lagged. It's fine. I know that a few of you only take a few seconds to even hear what I say, and then it takes a while for me to see what you voted. This is the reason I give it 30 seconds to begin with. I just sometimes have the feeling that you're taking a while to deliberate among yourself with your specific suggestions. The idea is for you to cast your vote, just decide on a whim and just decide to do what to do. I will interpret it. I will see, and I'll decide and see what the actual meaning of it is. If nobody has like a brilliant suggestion, just right away. Okay, so we have 2 votes for Dagger, which is the winner. Dagger is being sneaky. And there was a suggestion to lay a trap. You know who might know him, so try to get to him through people that he knows. Try to get to where he hangs around, yeah, that means that you also kind of need to disguise yourself, or maybe sneak into somewhere you don't belong. I think sneaking is better because you have 2 in sneaking. You're quite skilled at sneaking. It's going to be much easier for you to sneak into and hide where you don't belong than like make a disguise and go in. Although you also have 2 in con. You have 2 in con, so like lying your way into a place is also going to be a possibility. I think, yes, I think you need to sneaking? Why do you like this word? I really like the way that he said it in Lord of the Rings. Gollum's actor, Andy Serkis, when they accuse him of sneaking, there's this scene where he goes sneaking, and he sounds so hurt, so offended that they even suggested that he was sneaking around. It's great. So yeah, so lie and get into the place while by lying, and then it's an inherently sneaky, it's an inherently funny word, sneaking. Okay, so what you find is that he lives in a actually he lives in an inn. He has like a permanent room in an inn, which is a not that cheap. He pays good money to live in an inn in his own room, which has become his permanent place in the last several months. At the end of like the top floor of an inn, quite bigger and more spacious than the one you had for the night. So you know that he's been doing well. He's probably a more successful thief than you are if he gets to live in a nice inn every day, like permanently, or at least for now. And that inn is like, it has 2 stories and it's pretty wide. There's like a big tavern, a big a common room in the bottom, the ground floor, where people can hang around. The white dove, it's a bit yes. This is the spotted dove. The nicer inn is called the White Dove. Yeah, and it's a much nicer one. Pretend to work for a patron to bring them something. Cool, so you're gonna try to lie your way in. Now, again, I'll remind you that he knows who you are. For sure. Billy told you, if he robbed from you, if you were Rob's target, then that means he knows who you are. He had his eye on you for a while. So you can't just walk up to him and lie. You have to be a bit more indirect than this. But you can go into the inn, and then you use your con skill, your con special skill. Let's roll it right now and see how well you do when you go in and try to gain information. You roll an 8, which is exactly what you need. 6 plus 2 is an 8. So you can, that could be a good plan for later on. But right now, you're sitting in the common room of the White Dove, and you're talking to people and trying to get information about Lazy Rob. Apparently, here is under a pseudonym. He has a completely different name, and that name, I'm going to be able to say what that is. His name here is Clarence. Clarence is the name. Yeah, he's called Clarence. Pseudonym Clarence. In the inn, when he checked in, when he got the room in the inn, and when he meets people in the not the angel, no, just a person, just a dude named Clarence. That's what he calls himself. He presents himself as a visiting merchant, a trader, who's here to close some deals. He's here for a while, and people keep hearing from him that he has like deals to close and people to meet and some sales, and he needs to buy and sell things. But he stays around for a while. He's been here for about 2 months. So so they're starting to wonder what he really is about, and if he has like other things to do here. And they're actually a bit suspicious, some people in the inn, in the White Dove. However, almost no one here knows him very well, because unlike him, all the other people come and go. They all stay for maybe a week at most, or several days, and they go away. It's all visitors from out of town, because it's a nice inn, so it's people from out of town who have a little bit more money come in, and they stay at that inn. And it's like it's in a nicer neighborhood, this one. And you also know which room he's in. He's on the second floor, at the end of the hall, the end of the corridor. There's one last room at the left side of the corridor, and that's his room, like the most remote one, the farthest one, and the most expensive room in the inn. That's where he lives. Now, it's time for a new poll, and for you to tell me, what do you do? Go ahead. Cast your votes. One vote for book. Devise a smart plan. I like planning ahead. D dagger. Be sneaky. Cool. Nice. 2 votes. 1 book, 1 dagger. Any other votes? Layouts of the inn and surrounding roofs, and a lie he'd believe. Nice. I will tell you that the spell, the teleportation power or thing that he did, it's beyond the range, it's beyond the scope of the cantrips that you have. These small cantrips are part of a longer list. You can get more cantrips if you improve your magic in the future. But magic, minor magic, like these cantrips, they can't teleport you a few meters, especially through like the roof, through like a barrier. It's actually like a spell. Either he knows wizardry, or he knows like sorcery, some kind of spell casting, or he has a magic item that gives him the ability to do that. So he has more significant, at least that one more significant magical power than your cantrips. Cool. Let's close this poll and reset. We have 1 vote for book, 1 for dagger. Dagger is be sneaky and deceptive. B is actually make a plan. And I like Sit Still Behave's suggestion. Actually get a layout of the inn. So let's do that first. You can be sneaky later. We'll have another vote soon about what you actually do. But to make a plan, to get a layout, you ask around and you find out that he's out for most of the night. Most nights he's out for most of the night, and he actually comes back and goes into the room a little before dawn, a little before the morning. So right now, when you're there, it's early evening. His room is probably empty. He's probably out doing his things. And when the next vote comes around, this could be your suggestion, Sister Have. You can vote for Palm and actually try to talk to him honestly. That's if that's going to be your vote next time. That definitely might happen. But right now, I chose your book vote from before. So you're actually trying to devise a plan. The inn is the doors are locked, and patrons have keys, and the locks are good. You can you have locks. The locks special skill right here. And you can try to break the locks. That's something you can do when actually the action starts. Your plan starts unfolding. But there is actually a nice, nice lock on the door, and it's you try it out. You sneak around like to the door of the room, and you try the door, and you see that it's locked, and it's obviously empty. There's no sound from within, and he hasn't been seen all day. Actually, hasn't been seen from yesterday, from last night. He hasn't come back to his room at all. Or at least nobody saw him, and you know that he's not going to be back probably until early, like very late at night, early morning. And also, this tavern, the rooftop is slightly slanted. It's like how do you call it? How do you say gagreafim in English? The shingled roof. That's at an angle. It's not going to be very comfortable running and jumping on the roof. And then you also know, yeah, shingles, the shingled roof. And you also see that the gap between this building and all the nearest buildings around is too wide to jump across. It's too wide to jump across. So it's not going to be easy to jump from the roof of this inn to the next building over. It's not going to be possible for most people. Maybe his power to teleport is going to be enough to do that. You're not sure how distant this goes, but he won't be able to just jump it. Also, you still have your hold spell, your hold cantrip. I'll remind you, you have the option to do that. All right. So cool. Now let's poll again. You have more options, more plans. People have been voicing their suggestions in chat. This is the time to make specific suggestions again, and you can again vote. So cast your votes right now, and let's see which of these suggestions are actually going to happen. Yeah, there are too many plans. So this is why we have these 4 options. No matter how many suggestions and plans have been thrown around, you can just choose one of these 4. Just choose one of these 4 and I will make it happen. I will interpret it into one of the suggestions that you made. So just vote dagger again, Sally. Just vote dagger again and make it happen. I didn't take the suggestion last time, but now it might be the one chosen. Alright, 1 vote dagger from Cecil Behave, cool. 2nd vote for dagger from Sally. Hang back and find out more. Not offensive is what Sally's asking for. And yeah, I like the option of not being offensive. I am going to reset this poll. So find out more information is gonna be book. Yeah, it is more fitting to book. But you voted dagger, and honestly, I can tell you that if book and dagger were tied, I would choose dagger this time anyway, because I think this is a time to actually get into action. And what you do is you sneak around the inn until you're underneath the window. This room, he has a corner room. It's in the corner of the building, and he has 2 nice windows. He has 2 nice windows overlooking one overlooking like the alley at the back, and one overlooking the side. Like a side path that opens to the main street, and it's like it looks like it's a nice size room. It's a very nice room that he lives in, and you look at these windows and you check to see whether or not it's going to be very easy to climb there. It looks like it's not going to be very difficult, and indeed you have the climb special skill. So in order to be able to climb, you just need to roll it, because there's plenty handholds and ways to sneak and climb up the roof. So let's do it. Let's try to climb. You wait a little bit later at night. You wait until it's like later at night because you don't want people to be walking in the street and seeing you climb, right? You don't want to get caught. So you wait until there's barely anyone in the street, and you catch like a minute where nobody's around. You try to climb, and you roll a 7, which is excellent. You actually had to roll exactly a 7 or below because you have 6 skill and 1 climb. So, yeah, you made it. You managed to climb. It takes you about 3 minutes. You do it slowly because you want to be quiet while you're climbing. You slowly climb up. Actually, 3 minutes is way too much because it's just 1 floor up. But you just need to. It's a tall. The ground floor is tall, but it's not that tall. So you just need to climb 1 floor up. So maybe it's not 3 minutes. It's like a minute and a half. It takes you to climb up to the window, 1 floor up above ground, and then you're there. You're looking in. The room is dark. Nothing is moving there, and it's clear that there's no light on. It's also clear that there's no one in bed, and there's no one in the room. There's no person there. So you're free to choose to go in if you want, and I think that's what you do. I'm not going to open it to another poll because you want to search the room. You open the window quietly. It's not locked from the outside. You sneak in and you look around the room. This room is a room of a person who travels light. It's very clean. It's very ordered, even though he's been living here for 2 months. Either the room is cleaned and ordered regularly, or he doesn't make a lot of mess in the first place. There's some clothes hanging or folded in a little cupboard. A cloak, a dark cloak, not the one that you saw him in, is hanging on a hook. There's a chest with his belongings in it, but this chest is locked. So now. And actually, the bed is made. Somebody made the bed, and now it's smooth and clean, and doesn't look like somebody was sleeping there very recently. And yeah, the chest with all the rest of his belongings, except for some clothes and stuff, random stuff on the desk. It's all in one locked chest. What do you do? New poll. Make your choice. Alright, we have 2 votes, 1 book and 1 fist. Break lock with magic sword, which we have. You have a magical sword called Protector. You can see it here in your equipment list. A long sword called Protector that you robbed, that you stole from Olora the wizard. So let's see. Let's reset the poll. We 1 vote for book, 1 for fist. These are our 2 votes. I kind of like the direct approach. I think at that point you're kind of angry with him. He stole from you, a thief. I mean, obviously he's a better thief, a better burglar. He has some reputation, and he's richer than you are, obviously. But also, you don't have you're already building yourself a reputation, and you're known as a skillful thief, a skilled thief. Stealing from you is like, you feel like it's breaking its own code in a way, the code of the underground, the code of the polite burglars of Oriad. But he didn't care, and you draw Protector, the magical sword. You put the blade against the lock, the hanging lock, the lock that is holding this chest closed, and you just bang on the hilt, and the polite burglars is an official alliance, a gang or a guild. The Thieves Guild in Oriad is called the Polite Burglars. That's awesome. Oh, you can think any way you want. You're playing Tarren. But in this case, because Fist was suggested, I think that in anger you're going to break the lock, and you just bang with your palm on the hilt of the sword while holding you bang on the pommel. You're holding the hilt, and the sword just you need strength for this, and you don't have a high strength skill. So, yeah, you're gonna roll your skill just clean. You roll an 11 again, which means you fail. Failing means not only the... actually, you know what? Failing means the lock is still broken. You broke the lock, but you made a lot of noise. And the noise echoed through the hallway, and you're sure that some people heard you. Now, with this, I will ask, what do you do now? The chest is unlocked. You can open it, but you're sure that people heard the ruckus from the room. Suggestions are nice, but you need to cast a vote. Dagger. Enter the closet. Okay, I wonder if that's a smart thing to do, but the vote is the important thing. Dagger. Fist, root through quickly and get out. Cool. I like that too. Any more votes? Anyone else wants to join in? When you come back, hold person. It's not quite hold person, Sally. I remind you, it's hold. Like actually, holding someone in place is a powerful spell, which actual like wizards and sorcerers can do. If you learn wizardry or sorcery, you can do that. We're down the rabbit hole, shrug. Yeah, okay. I'll reset the poll. Cool. So we have one vote for Dagger, one vote for Fist. I'm gonna choose Fist again because we're on a roll. The adrenaline is up. You put the sword back into the scabbard and you start just rooting through yeah, you can stick his boots to the floor. That's one very popular use, but it's just gonna be the boots. It's not gonna be him. It's not gonna be his feet stuff. It's just gonna be the boots, right? Okay, so yeah, you start like going through the belongings really quickly, and you find a bunch of things. First of all, you find burglars' clothes, right? Tight woolen or leather clothes that are designed to be comfortable and flexible to walk around in and stay completely hidden and covered. Some of them are very light for warm weather. Some of them are warmer for when it's cold outside. There's some thieves' tools and like just an assortment of small thieves' belongings that he has all folded in a leather, you know, like these leather like scrolls that have pockets in them that surgeons use, old-timey barbers and surgeons, and have like different kind of tools and blades in them. What is it called? Those leather pouches, not pouches, like with lots of little pouches in them. And he has that like a bunch of thieves' tools. He has some money. Except for the lockpicks and the thieves' tools. And I think he also has some like personal things that obviously have like a sentimental value. Because I didn't decide in advance what these objects are, I would like you to tell me what they are. Each one of you can decide on one item that he has there that is like a personal item, like something that he carries around with him and he keeps in this safe chest. A locket, cool. Learning from our misfortune in the sorcery series, where we gave up on the locket and then needed it a second after. I'm sure it's fueled by that trauma. A locket, a letter, but that's, you have only one. You decide on a locket, and we're staying with locket. Any other suggestions of what he has there? What he has that is useful. I mean, sorry, not useful. Personal and maybe useful for him. Is it just more you choose? Okay, so there are no more suggestions. Maybe I'll just take both of yours. So let's have a locket. Oh, a treasured book. Cool. A treasured book. Nice. Any other suggestions from anyone who hasn't made a suggestion yet? You can go ahead. Meanwhile, a locket and a treasured book. What of these things do you take? Do you take all? Do you just rob all of it? Just take all of it for yourself, or do you maybe leave some of it behind? Let's make it a vote. Vote for what you take. Which of these items do you take? All of them, or just some? Do you leave some behind? Vote one of these four options: book, dagger, fist, or palm. Remember that it's the same four options, even though I asked a specific question. It's the same. What do? You have to choose one of these four. Alright, one book and one palm. I interpret palm as being nice, not taking a lot. Maybe just taking enough in order to make it like to have some leverage over him. But book, anything that seems useful to us, is actually taking only the things that you really think will be useful, which is a cool suggestion. I think I'll go with the... I want to make a point. So what do you mean by a trap? What do you mean by a trap, Sally? I'm not sure I understand what you meant by your suggestion. If you want to write it down, maybe I'll know a bit more about what you mean. Give an address. Leave something? Oh, okay. So that's not palm, that's dagger. I think that would be dagger. Like making a plan for like deceiving him, making him... Yeah, that would definitely be dagger. That would not be palm. So let's go with book. Let's go with the book suggestion. I will decide which one of these seem like useful for you, which means that you're not going to be very mean. You're not going to take the locket or the book. You are going to take the things that you think will be useful for you, like actually useful. So you take thieves' tools. Thieves' tools are very useful. You actually didn't have a professional set of thieves' tools. You had some tools, obviously. If you have locks and traps, skill with locks and traps, you have some basic tools with you. But these are masterful thieves' tools, made from quality steel and well sharpened and oiled and ready to use, and containing very specialized parts. Little blades and picks that are designed to be useful in different kinds of situations and with different kinds of mechanisms. So, noise-canceling leather, yeah. Bound in leather. So, thieves' tools bound in leather, and you take, I guess you take the money. I guess you take the money. So, you have, along the 7 silver pieces, you just got 10 gold pieces, which is the money that he had stowed away. Not a lot, by the way. It's not a lot of money. That's definitely a nice sum. That's going to be in this kind of tavern. This kind of nice tavern. 10 gold pieces enough to live comfortably, like, you know, for 5 days easily. It's going to be very, very easy to live for 5 days. 2 gold pieces per day, and get like your accommodation and your food. And if he has 10 gold pieces here, he probably has more on him. Yeah, gold is a lot. Gold is expensive. It's not like D&D. Yeah, 10 gold is quite a lot. You started with 7 silver pieces, which is enough to get by for a few days if you don't live in an inn, right? If you live in your own, if you have your own little place, 7 silver pieces is enough to get by for a couple of weeks in this city. So if you live cheap, 10 gold pieces is good. It's a good sum, and probably you guess that he has more on him. He has like a lot more than that. So yeah, you take the money and the silver pieces, and then you need to decide what to do about him. So you get out, you open the window again, you climb, you sneak out the window. So this guess that he has some things hidden throughout the room might be a good guess. It might be correct, but you don't have the time to check it because you made a lot of noise. You have to climb out, close the window behind you, close again the little latch that you opened from through the shutters of the window that you opened through the shutters. You have to like slide it back in to cover up your tracks, and then slowly climb down. And when you climb, you already hear the door being unlocked and somebody step in. There's voices of people talking. It's probably some of the other guests in the inn, along one of the workers, maybe the owner or one of the staff of the inn, who was checking the room to see if anything there is wrong. If they're noticing the broken lock on the chest or not is something that you can't determine. You don't know if they actually saw that the lock is broken. That's it. You're on the ground. What do you do? New poll. If anyone's lurking in chat and hasn't joined us yet, you can see the 4 options you have here. It's in red. Whenever I ask what do, you can make choices for Tarren by using one of these commands. Those written in red that you see other people use here in chat. Alright, so there's 1 vote for dagger, 1 vote for fist. Right, so dagger is find a hideout. There's fist for him to notice and attack. So like confront him, actually confront him and get a meeting. Find a hideout in case people come out of the inn. Okay, so if sit still behaves suggestion, let's reset the poll. You are talking about what to do right now with this instance. I'm gonna go with your suggestion first. Right, you go and you find a hiding place. I actually even elaborate and say you find a hiding place which is close by, from where you can scope the entrance to the inn. You can see what's going on. Exactly, you're kind of on the same page. So I'm gonna go with your suggestion first. Let's roll sneaking to see how well you are at finding a place where you can scope out the inn. Roll a 7. Your sneaking is a total of 8, so that's good. 7 is excellent. Lag is annoying. Yes, lag is definitely annoying. So you get to a safe space to hide, and not a minute too soon, because people come out of the inn and walk around and look up at the window, and they don't notice any tracks. You didn't leave any tracks behind. When you climb, you did it all successfully. You did it well. You are a burglar, not as rich and famous like Lazy Rob, but you are a skillful burglar yourself. You know how to cover your tracks. So they don't know what happened, and they're not sure who made this noise. And they go back into the inn, and they seem to be just going back to their business because he's not around. They don't know how to contact him. They don't know where to leave a message or anything. You just know that it's that it was his room, and they'll tell him when he comes back. And then the next thing you wanted to do, the fist option. The fist option was to wait for him to notice and then confront him when he comes to find you. So that's what you do. You wait. You wait until he comes back, and you continue scoping the inn. It's not until, exactly as you were told, very, very close to the to the morning, like almost dawn already, when he shows up, and he is wearing the same dark clothes with the hooded cloak that you remember, the soft dark black boots, the black clothes underneath, the tight black clothes that he was wearing when he was standing in your room. Because the hood is up, you can not even see his face. You just notice him by his walk and the fact that he's kind of a short, small person wearing the same dark clothes. He is he has a sack slung over one shoulder that is bulging in a familiar shape. He goes to the entrance of the inn, and then right before he goes in, he just puts the hood down, and you recognize his face. as he walks into the inn and disappears into the relative darkness. There's not a lot of light from within right now at this hour. There's no one in the common room, probably. I don't think there's any fire in the fireplace. He's probably walking into an almost empty or completely empty common room of the inn. What do you do? New poll, new suggestions, new choices, new votes. Go ahead. No, the book was not in the chest. We don't have the book. The book was not anywhere that you could see in the room. Then again, it's a pretty big book. It's a pretty big tome. If the book was there, you probably would have seen it. No votes? Book, we need a plan if we rush in alone. Okay, make a plan. Follow along with your friends. Palm. Oh, okay, so get your friends. Sally suggesting to get your friends. Cicely Have is book. Make a plan. Okay, cool. So, kind of confusing having one of the votes be book, and also this whole adventure is about a book. Let's reset the poll. One vote for book, one vote for palm. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with Sally's suggestion. And it is also, as Cecil Behave is saying, it's also kind of what you're thinking about, making a plan. But specifically that plan is going to be what Sally suggested, getting your friends, getting the urchins. You go to where they live. It's not very close to here. You have to walk a while in both directions, which means that when you get back to the inn with the urchins a little later, it's already dawn. Sun is actually exactly now, the sun is rising above the horizon. It's about 2 hours after you saw him go in, right? So it's been 2 hours since he went into the inn, and you know that when he walks in the room, into his room, he'll notice immediately that the place has been broken into. He knows the signs, and he'll see that the lock was broken and some stuff is missing, right? So he's been aware of your break-in for a while now, although he might not have been he might not be sure that it was you, right? He might not know that yet. And then you get back you get back to the inn. You have the 3 urchins with you. Let's remind ourselves of their names. Billy, Flora, and Tim. Billy, Flora, and Tim are here. What is going to be your new plan, your new avenue of going in and confronting him? Make your choice and cast your votes right now. What do you do? Right, 1 dagger, 2 dagger. Okay, 2 votes for being sneaky. No more votes, I'm guessing. I'm recognizing some people around who are actual human beings who might be capable of participating if you want to. Only if you're feeling like it. I'm gonna reset the poll, and I'm gonna go. So I'm gonna go with pretty much what you were kind of suggesting. Pretend to be someone else. Wasp could do it. Okay, let's say that Wasp can do it. So Wasp, here's your plan, and she just nods once. She never needs to hear anything more than once, like an explanation or a plan or whatever. She just nods once. Toad, outside waiting to capture him, is another good suggestion. He stays out of the inn, right next to the entrance of the inn, and you go with Billy underneath the window. You wait underneath the window. So Toad is on one end, on the main street. at the entrance of the inn, the big door that leads into the common area of the inn, like from the street. You're standing underneath the windows, and Wasp is walking into the inn, going up the stairs, walking towards the room, and just knocking on the door. Now, let's for rolling what somebody else does. We don't know what her skill is yet. Let's kind of determine that right now. If you said Flora is good at doing this kind of thing, so I think maybe, so first of all, let's just say that there's skill in general. All of your urchins, they're gonna have a skill of 5. They're not super skilled. They can hold their own, but they're not super skilled people. Maybe Tim or Toad, I should say Toad is the way he's referenced usually. He has a less, only skill 4. He's younger, he's not as strong. Billy and Flora have a skill of 5, and stamina is not going to be very high. Stamina 6, and then she has her own special skills. They all have special skills. Toad is very fast. Okay, so let's give them a special, like a special skill each. So she's going to be good at pretending. It's con. It's probably the con special skill, right? Let's see where that is. I'm gonna go back to the rule book and seeing which special skills are there. Skills. Hero creation special skills. Page 26. Cool. So, disguise. There is disguise. So she's gonna be good at disguising. Deception. They also fight well. They can all fight. They're probably gonna be all be able to fight. They'll have more than one skill eventually, I think. But right now, let's say con. It's not gonna be disguise. It's gonna be con 1. He's moderately skilled in lying to people. Running is dodge, acrobatics, climb, dodge, jump, rise, swim. There's no running. Where's the running skill? I'm gonna call it acrobatics. Toad is gonna have acrobatics. And Billy has a good climbing skill. Climb 1. Alright, cool. So that's what they have right now. She conducts things. She's a great boxer. Yeah, she stings like a wasp. She stings like a wasp. Right, cool. Okay, yeah. So we have some stats for them. And she has skill 5 and con 1. That's not very good, but it's gonna have to be good enough when she rolls now. Needs to roll exactly a 6 or below. That's amazing. She has 6 skill and con together, which means that she holds him in place. When she talks to him, she's like very direct. She's a good liar, but she's not very flowery with her, even though she's called Flora. She doesn't use like elaborate lies. She's very direct, like right to the point. And she says, "Hey, I'm part of the town guard." She always sounds angry when she talks. She says, "Hey, I'm part of the town guard. There was some weird things happening recently, and some people were walking around. Some people were there was like noise from your room, and some people said that maybe some weird things happened." And he looks at her, doubtful, even though she made the roll, kind of like doubting that she really is the real deal, not sure how she should take it, and also being a burglar and a thief himself, not really happy to see a member of the town guard here knocking at his door. But this is a nice neighborhood, and in nice neighborhoods, guards actually do show up when people need help, right? The guard actually is, capable and around to help, unlike in other neighborhoods of Oriad, the downtown slums where the guard is almost nowhere to be seen. So he plays along, and he says that yeah, he heard that some people were around, but he doesn't show her the broken lock. He doesn't actually cooperate. He just plays nice and lets her talk. This happens while you're down underneath the window of his room. What do you do? Let's reset the poll. Make your choices. What is going to be the next phase of the plan? What happens? She's like holding him for she's try to search the room. Okay. A dagger. Cool. 1 vote for dagger from Sit Still Behave. Any more votes? I have a few seconds left. Two votes dagger. I'll reset the poll again. And yeah, so we have 2 votes for dagger, which means that she keeps the deception going. I'm not going to have a roll again. We're going to roll with the same result. And she goes into the room. You don't need to. No, you don't need to. Actually, the game demands only a vote. That's all I need for you to participate. Just a vote. One of the 4 options. It definitely can be something that's left to me to decide, right? So she tries to get in the room. She tries to get him to let her into the room and see if there's any signs of anyone who's broken in. He doesn't want to let her in. He does not want to let her in, which means that when she goes in, he kind of blocks her way. He stands right next to her and he tries to limit her movements in the room and show her, this is my bed, this is the cupboard, the closet with the clothes and stuff, this is my chest, and he tries to not let her get it close to the chest to see that the lock, actually the lock is missing right now. He just put the lock somewhere else. She can't even see the broken lock. It's just a latch that can easily just be opened by hand right now. So he doesn't let her get near the chest or any other important or interesting place in the room, like the desk or anything on it. And actually, she's starting to get angry. She gets angry really quickly, and she's starting to get annoyed. Soon enough, she won't be able to control herself anymore. New vote. New vote. Again, Sally, cool suggestions, but you need to vote. You need to make one of the 4 choices. Make one of the 4 choices, please. I'll vote for Fist. Cool. What other votes do we have? One vote for Fist. Is it going to be the only one? 2 votes for Fist. Cool. Let's reset the poll. And Fist is a clear winner with 2 votes, with 0 for everything else. So she gets angry and uses the anger to go, hey, you're interrupting an investigation. I need to look through the room. You need to let me in and let me look through what's going on. He really doesn't want to, which means this is going to require another roll. And since she's good enough. She's good enough. She's not lacking in skill to, force people to do what she wants, be angry, like get the anger, like let the anger let it outside and let it affect people and get them to do what you want. But still, she needs to get lucky, and I think it's going to be your luck roll that determines how he reacts to that weird, unexpected behavior. Also, she's alone, which is very suspicious. Why haven't they sent a couple of guards, like a bunch of guards, to look around? Why only one person? She doesn't look like an investigator at all. She has normal, everyday clothes. So, yeah, it's going to be a luck roll. And you rolled a 9, which is good. Your luck goes down, as it always does when you use it, when you test it. So, you made the test. Now you can... that means that he kind of is stumped. He's stumped. He's not sure. This is definitely not the Middle Ages. This is nothing like... This place is nothing like the Middle Ages at all. So she's... he kind of is stumped. He's not sure what to do because he doesn't want to anger the guards because he's a criminal himself, and he doesn't want to be aggressive, and maybe, you know, let anything out, like any kind of information that she'll discover that maybe will tip her off as to what he's up to usually. So she goes into the chest, she opens the chest, she looks through it, and the book is not there. But thanks to the freer movement that she has right now, she's freer to move through the room, she gets a peek under the bed while she's kneeling next to the chest. She lowers her head down, she lowers her entire body, and she looks through the chest, and then she looks like to the side, and she gets to peek and see that under the bed there is a large dark sack, and the sack holds something that seems to be about the size of the book. It is the sack that he was holding on his shoulder, then it was slung over his shoulder when he came into the room. So it's there under the bed, it's right there. And at that point, he tells her that he needs her to get out. And there's only two options at this point. Either she attacks him, or, I don't know, do something direct, or she says, okay. Let's have a vote to see if you can think of any other kind of choice of what she does at that point. Cast your votes. Choose one of the options, and if you want to make a suggestion, you can, but you definitely don't have to. She moves near the exit. We trap her together. F for fist. B for book from Sit Still Behave. I see. Book. Alright, so we have two options, two votes. Let's reset the poll. One book, one fist. These are the two top options. I think I will, at this point, choose the fist option. I think it's time for a direct confrontation. Also because we're near the end of the adventure, but also because I think at this point, you know where the book is, you know that it's here, and he's 1 and you're 4. So she goes to the door, but also she gives you the sign that Sally mentioned before. That sign is going to be her looking out the window and making eye contact with you. She looks through the shutters as if just checking things. You know, she just does another round, a last round around the room, and the window that you're under, you're standing under, she looks through the shutters, between two of the shutters, and she makes eye contact with you, and she raises her eyebrows, and then she goes away towards the door and tries to get more of his more of his attention on her, like making more, talking, saying more angry things, and making sure that he doesn't notice when you start climbing. So let's start climbing and see how well you do. The climbing roll, I'm actually gonna do a sneaking roll. It's more important than climbing right now. And I think sneaking is gonna be done at a penalty of 1 point. So you're gonna roll with a sneaking. Usually you have an 8 in sneaking, 2 plus your 6 skill. But you're gonna roll as if you have only a 7 this time, because you're sneaking with Billy, right? Billy is with you, and you need to keep him quiet as well. So it's gonna be a little bit harder. Let's see how well you do. You roll a 6. Excellent. You make it. You sneak all the way up to the window, and now you're looking at him. You're looking at his back, and he's just about to reach over and start closing the door. He's about to start closing the door, like right in her face, just like gently pushing her outside and saying, "Thank you very much. I'll be okay from now on. You can just go back and just do whatever you need to do. I'm just gonna go back to sleep." And this is exactly the instant when you need to spring into action. What do? Cast your votes. Boom, 2 votes for fist. Well, nice, I guess. I said spring into action, so I kind of probably guided you towards there. You could have gone different ways, but fist makes perfect sense. Because, yeah, springing into action, fist definitely is doing things more quickly. Fist is definitely the choice of being hasty, being being more quick than the other three options. So yeah, you just kick the window open and jump in. Billy's right behind you. You land on the floor, on the wooden, smooth wooden floor of the room. Billy lands behind you with two thuds. He turns around, and Wasp opens the door behind him, walks in, and pushes him into the room. She's been waiting for that. Right? She was slowly simmering, getting angrier and angrier throughout this whole exchange of her like pretending that she's somebody else, and now she has the option. She has the yeah, it's possible for her. She has the possibility even of stepping in and just putting her hands on his back and just pushing him in. Yeah, he's shocked. He's very surprised, and when you confront him and you tell him that you're here for the book, you see his hand reaching in to something that is underneath his cloak. He reaches underneath his cloak around where, like his left breast, like his where his something underneath, like on his shirt or underneath the cloak, is there. What do you do? Make your choice right now. All right. One vote Fist. Another vote for Fist. D, stick his hand. Okay. Cool. Let's reset. Cool. One vote Dagger, one vote Fist means, and I mean, Sally kind of asked for something very aggressive. I would even classify that as a vote for Fist. So I'm going to go with a Fist vote, even though I'm actually liking Sally's suggestion. Because, yeah, you need to do something quickly and just prevent him, like directly prevent him from getting at whatever he's getting at. You draw your knife and you lunge forward. Let's roll the dice and see who does better. You have a 6 skill and 1 in brawling. Using your dagger is with the brawling skill. Oh, stick his hand. Oh, I see. You can only stick inanimate objects. You can't stick living things, not the hand. You can only stick inanimate objects to each other. So you could probably find something else to do with it. But I think still I'm going to go with Cecil Behave suggestion. I'm going to go with the Fist option, which is drawing the knife. You might have Slap-Ass Walrus. We're going to be done in a few minutes probably. Yeah, I think we're nearing the end. It's the exciting action sequence when everyone's already in the room at the top floor of the inn, fighting. The characters on a nice small list. There is a nice small list, isn't it? Hear, hold, and noise. You don't see the list here. Hear, hold, and noise. You want me to make it bigger? The writing could be bigger if you want to. Yep, it's right there. That's your cantrips. Let's make it bigger. I can't make all the writing bigger. I can make some of it bigger because this, for example, this can easily be bigger. This can be bigger, but then when you get more talents and more cantrips or more weapons or stuff in the future, there's going to be less room for lots of things in lists. So probably hold spell doesn't work on living things. You can't stick a hand. A hand doesn't. Oh, the title of the list is cantrips, and I can't enlarge it easily. I can't really enlarge it easily. I can edit the graphics for next week, maybe. We'll see. But this is the cantrips you have. Yeah, the titles are a little blurry because they're part of the image. They're part of the image of the thing, of the character sheet that I'm using. So they're a little blurry. It's true. Okay, so you draw your dagger. Let's do it. So brawling 1, skill 6. It's a total of 7. You need to roll 7 or below. Or actually, it's not true. You're rolling against him now. You're rolling against someone else. So when you're rolling against, you need to roll high. You need to roll high, and you're adding your skill to the dice roll. right? So this roll works a little bit differently. You rolled 6 in your 2d6 roll. You rolled a 3 and a 3, it's a total of 6, and then you add the 6 skill and the 1 brawling special skill. So it's a total of 13. Well, you're not using it right now. It maybe could help. It depends on what the magic is. You don't know what the magic is. You know the longsword is called Protector. But you have your trusty dagger with which you're actually skilled. You're not skilled at using swords right now. You don't use them very well. So you'd rather use your dagger right now. You lunge forward and you try to stick his hand before he manages to use whatever it is he needs to use. So now he rolls 2d6, and he rolls an 8. And his skill, I will tell you, is a little bit higher than yours. He has 8 skill. His skill is 8, and he has also a better sleight of hand is what he's using right now. He has some special skill in sleight of hand, which you see here. You have 1 in sleight of hand. So he also has a sleight of hand skill. And because he rolled higher, he has a higher skill, and he's also adding 1 from his special skill. That means he does what he does before you do what you do. He sticks his hand into underneath his cloak. He holds whatever it is in it, and he teleports away. There's a puff of shadow, and he is again gone. You don't know where he is at all. And yeah, he's not in the room anymore. So, you know, Flora was gonna grab him from behind and kind of like try to strangle or hold him pinned to place while you finished him off. And Billy the goat was gonna do other things to help you as well, but they didn't even get a chance to participate, and you stab at the empty air while he's gone. What is going to be your choice? Some suggestions are already being made, but cast your votes now. Cast your votes. Walrus, I'll tell you that when I ask what do, you play Tarren. It's this handsome fellow. You can choose one of these options: book, dagger, fist, or palm. You can see the explanation of what it means here. Books means using your knowledge, senses, craft, or using magic. And then dagger is being stealthy and deceptive. Fist is being direct and aggressive, using brute force. And palm is being open, honest, and helpful. Real thing was stab Flora. Now, you're not that. You're more skilled than that. You're not gonna stab all the way through and like an extra... That's true, but she didn't hold him yet. She didn't actually get her hands on him and hold him. She's still standing like half a meter behind him. So you didn't stab Flora. You didn't stab Flora. All right, we have 1 vote for book, 2 votes for book. Let's reset the poll and see that book. Look carefully around the room. Just look around the room and search around and see anything interesting. So the first thing you do is you pull the sack from under the bed, you put it on the bed, you open it up, and you pull out your book, your cool book of magic, your book of entering, which is a book of summoning and banishing spells. It is no longer stolen. You have it back. And you have it in your backpack now. You now have his thieves' tools bound in leather and 10 gold pieces that you stole from him. Sign and smile. Does that have a dollar sign on it? No, it doesn't have a dollar sign on it. No, it has a strap that you can use to put it, carry it on your. Still stolen by us. It is still stolen. It's true. It is still taken unlawfully from Alora the wizard. Sigh. Oh, sigh and smile. Ah, okay. Good. Good job. You got the book back. But he knows who you are. You remember that. He knows who you are. And he knows, probably, he knows of where to find you if he really wants to. And he's gone. He's away. You don't even know where he is. You go out of the inn. You look around. You go around the inn. You try to look for signs of where he is. Maybe you see him on the roof jumping away, but you don't. You don't get to see any sign of his passing. He actually is just gone. With everything that he had on him, he just went away. And if he ever is going to be back to this room in this inn, it's not going to be soon. So you're not going to be able to catch him this way anytime soon. And yeah, that's going to be the end of this adventure. Buy everyone meals, good meals with the new money. Sure, yeah, let's go have a nice meal. You go buy everyone food. It's going to cost you a few silver pieces. You're down to 2 silver pieces from 7. But it's good because you still have 10 gold. It's a lot of money. And yeah, you have a nice breakfast. You have a nice breakfast with everyone, with all 4 of you. They go back to their place. Billy wants to know about the book. He wants to know about the book. You don't know what this weird fascination, the surprising fascination with magic books and magic spells is. Usually Billy was the simplest one, he's the smartest one, but also he has very simple needs, is not extremely book smart. He's never book smart, never learned. He doesn't actually know how to read at all, and you're quite surprised to see that he's actually interested in knowing what the book says, ask you questions about it while you're having your breakfast. But then eventually the book stays with you. Of course, you don't let Billy put his hands on it. It's a valuable and an actual like magic spell. Tell him you found the book recently in an abandoned house. Yeah, that's right. You tell him something that's technically not a lie. I found the book in an abandoned house, which is exactly true. Exactly where the kind of place where you found the book. And now we are done with today's adventure. We're gonna do the experience thing. We're going to do the XP thing. You're going to get experience points for this adventure. You have a new enemy, Lazy Rob, who stole something from you, and then you stole some things back from him. Your book, but also his masterwork thieves' tools, and some gold that he had stowed away. Most importantly, you quite humiliated him. And even if you want to keep it a secret, your urchins are not gonna. Your urchins are going to spread the rumor of you having stolen something valuable back from Lazy Rob. They don't say it's a book. They don't say it's a magic book with magic spells. They're going to keep that secret for you. But they cannot stop themselves from letting it out that they were part of a counter heist, stealing back something that he stole from you. I like the urchins too. I think you wrote them very well. Yeah, it's a party. It's a whole party of companions that you have. I think we're probably going to meet them again in the future. All right, time to get XP and time to decide what you do in the next couple of days. You have a few more days to do stuff, and you get this time, let's say 40 experience points, 40 XP. You got a decent amount of XP because you had some clever ideas. You did a good job of finishing this with no bloodshed. You and the urchin stayed in one piece, and you beat a much more skilled thief than you, even though you might have made him even angrier than before. So what do you do with this XP? What kind of new abilities and skills do you want to get? You can increase some of your stats. You can increase or buy new special skills, all new special skills. You can increase your magic, become a more. May have gotten reputation. Yeah, you probably did get some reputation. It's true. He has reputation. So when you successfully steal from him, that means that you have some reputation as well. You get some at his expense, at the expense of his humiliation. You get some added some added cred, some street cred. Exactly, street cred. Alright, so maybe add some intimidation or persuasion skill. Cool. Maybe make a reputation stat with groups. Ooh, that could work. Maybe actually add some reputation, like a special skill which is your reputation. That's cool. With the polite burglars, yeah. That's very cool. That could work. That could work. That could actually be nice. So these are two suggestions. You can actually do both because buying a new special skill is 20 experience points. You can buy 1 point in something like persuasion and one in the reputation skill, or you can buy the reputation at level 2 immediately with the whole 40 points. So let's go with sorry. Yeah, I think we should go with let's see how the skill is called, the special skill. There's etiquette, no. Hunting, leadership, religion, no. Where's the persuasion? Where's the bargain, evaluate, fishing? Where's law, leadership? There's leadership, there's con, there's bargain. I don't see any persuasion or conversation, so I'm gonna, yeah. You like convincing too? Leadership or bargain are good. Bargain, actually, bargain could be nice. Leadership is nice with the urchins, but I think bargain. Let's go bargain. I am actually not averse to adding more skills, right? It's fine. We can add more skills if we want to. But I think bargain is nice. Leadership. Con is charisma. Yeah, it's one specific use of your personal skills. It's like lying and manipulating people, and you're very good at that. But bargain can be actually... But maybe leadership is better. What does leadership do? Let's see. What does leadership do in this game exactly? Okay, you roll it when you want to command them to do things they might not necessarily want to do. Like if you actually tell them to do something that's a bit dangerous, or outside of their usual expertise, right? So that's going to be leadership. I like this. I like leadership. Yeah, leadership 1. And then you're going to have reputation. Yeah, it does sound good and useful. This is going to be useful with the urchins, probably, because you're probably going to go with them in the future as well. Now we have the reputation skill, which is, I'll call it reputation, and then parentheses on the brackets, whatever it's called. I'm gonna write underground, the underground, or criminal, as a reputation in the criminal world of Oriad. 1. You have a 1 reputation, and it's like a personality skill. You add it to your skill whenever you want to get some rumors, you want to find some information, gather information, you want to put a rumor out and have a message reach somebody maybe, or convince people that something is true. If they're part of the criminal underworld of Oriad, then your reputation skill is going to be relevant for that. Okay? So that's cool. That's a very cool skill. So experience goes back to 0. We used all 40 points. We're going to get some more next time. Cool. Nice. I like the way Tarren is developing. I'll remind you that you can take him in different directions. You can have him learn different skills and get different kinds of expertise on his way. And it's definitely possible for you to make him get new skills and new areas, and actually, like, you know, slowly morph and change him into something that has different fields, different abilities and things that he's adept at. That's slowly gonna be happening throughout the game with the new skills and experience that you're getting. Cool. Let's talk. What do you do in your downtime? You're gonna have a few days until the next adventure. What do you do with your new equipment, your new loot that you got? I'll remind you, you have a longsword. You don't know what it does. You don't know what its magical power is. You have a book of entrails, which is a guide to monster and animal parts. and its magical uses. You have a sack full of useful wizard's knickknacks, which we didn't specify. You have, I'll actually write down that it's masterwork thieves' tools, bound in leather, and you have a book of entering. Do you want to do anything with any of these things, or just keep carrying them around with you from place to place? Any ideas you have of what you want to do? This is one not going to be an alchemist. Okay, and then do what? What do you want to do with an alchemist? Ask about the Book of Entrails. Okay, so you want to get into the Book of Entrails and try to see what kind of information you can get from the Book of Entrails. So, in the next several days, you find an alchemist who lives in the slums. Like it's a dank, packed little room with pots on open flames and little bowls with pungent mixtures in them that you fill the air with rancid smells and sharp smells that really sting the nose when you breathe in. A tiny little alchemist lives there, and he's an old man, and he teaches you how to read the Book of Entrails and how to identify different kind of monster parts with it. When you're done, you actually will have the ability to find useful stuff. You still don't know alchemy. That's going to take experience. When you get experience points, you can start learning alchemy if you want to become an alchemist. It's going to be a whole other path you can choose to go down, but you don't have to. You have an alchemist who can do stuff for you, can create some potions for you, and you can actually provide that alchemist with with useful items, with useful, materials from monsters and animals that you encounter along the way. So kind of like think The Witcher. Think The Witcher. You know, the Witchers are alchemists themselves. They can do the alchemy themselves. So you're not the alchemist. But you can be like the one who identifies different animal parts, brings them back to the alchemist, and then you can trade these parts for some useful potions that he can give you, right? So that can be like a deal that you have with him. So from now on, you can do that. You have that ability. Whenever you kill a monster, you can harvest it for parts. Maybe some of it is going to be useful. Sally likes the idea of being a rogue alchemist, and Sister Behave is worried about walking around with useful, not just useful, expensive and sensitive, like, things that we want to have on us. Just walking around with them on our person at all times. It's true, we need to find a place to hide them. Maybe that's going to be part of what we do next week. I don't know, I'll think about it a little bit. But part of what you do is maybe you'll find a place to stash. Join a guild. Joining a guild sounds good. Maybe that'll be the adventure for next week. Joining a guild. To be able to have some backing. And to have the option to... the tower. Oh, that's cool. The tower can be a place to stow away things. Oh, nice. Ooh, that's a good option. I kind of like that. Cool. So let's say that you have some things stowed away in the tower from now on. Yeah. Yeah, you stow away some of your things in the tower. The 2 books, really. And actually everything you stole from the tower. All the things that you stole from the tower. Are going to be stowed away now. They're stolen from the tower, but now they're stowed at the tower as well. The demons are still there, the imps and the one demon that you made the deal with, and they're friendly to you. You can get there late at night when nobody's looking, nobody's there to see. You can go in, and put things into a hiding place that all the demons know about. They all know where you're hiding your things. They all know what's there. Maybe they even look around a little bit, but they're not going to touch your things. They're not going to take away anything because you have the deal, and you're keeping their presence there and the story of everything that happened. You're keeping it secret. You actually have some leverage over them. If anything goes missing in the future, they know that you can bring other people into the tower to banish and kill them and destroy the demons that are there. So, yeah, they're not going to take any of your stuff. So, yeah, you have a couple of the 2 books and the sack full of useful wizard's knickknacks are all in the are all at Aloris Tower, stowed away safely. Cool. Nice. I want to say thank you very much for joining us tonight. That was very cool. The second adventure in Tarren's Adventures, and I already know what the next one is going to be because it's going to be according to your suggestions right now. Let's keep the details a surprise until we connect next week to the next episode in Tarren's Adventures. Every Monday, 9 Israel time is Questions of the Alpalor, our comedy improv fantasy game, and on Saturdays, same time, same place, we're gonna have every week a new adventure in Tarren's Adventures. Thank you everyone who joined and voted. Inaboy was here for a little while, and Shin, and then Sit Still Behave and Sally for the whole stream. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much for being here. I will see you on Monday or next week on Saturday. And until the next time we see each other, play hard, stay safe, and good night.